Good morning and welcome to our kitchen. I'm Gordy Galusha,
I'm Nancy Ostrach.
and this is our 261 program, and it's very great to be able to say that because we have been at it for a long time. But 261 is quite a feat. Well, anyway, today we're going to be making an easy turkey pot pie, a spicy cran-apple sauce, and a 50-year-old chocolate cake. We're going to start out with Nancy.
Okay, thank you. If it's still a season of cranberries, well, it's winter season. Cranberries are like a winter fruit, though you can probably get them frozen all year round. If you remember, a few weeks ago I made a cranberry sauce where I cooked it in with fresh cranberries with a pear and vermouth and some other things. Well, I found another recipe with the fresh cranberries, and I've got them in a pan, a 12-ounce package, and I'm going to add to them a 20-ounce can of unsweetened pineapple tidbits, if you can find tidbits in a larger can. I didn't, so I just took the slices of pineapple and just cut them around, made tidbits. So I'm going to put that undrained because I want the juice of the pineapple, and 2 medium apples, and the apples that I bought were kind of large, so I just have one good size apple in here that I peeled and cut into little chunks. So I'm going to add those. The juice is there. And did I get a big enough pan? We'll see. I may have to change it to another pan, but then I'm going to add, this is a pretty coloring here. I got it on medium heat, a half a cup of sugar, there's some snow on the cranberries, the sugar, and for seasonings, I'm going to add a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, but I like my grinder cinnamon, so I'm just going to put a good amount of cinnamon in. The 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. And a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and this is another grinder, which is got some. Okay. Now, I'm going to cook this down until the berries have burst and all the flavors get, and the apples get cooked. And while that is happening, I'm going to turn it back to Gordy.
Today I'm going to make a recipe that I found in my recipes that I have home. I have quite a few, but I found this 50-year-old recipe of chocolate cake that my mother used to make when I was little, growing up, and she always made it, and it was delicious. So I'm going to make it for you today. And if there's anybody out there that would like to send some of their old recipes to us, we'll try to put them on TV, and we'll have a good
nostalgic
programs. And we would like to do that if you people would like to send us some of your old recipes. In my bowl, I have a cup of butter, a half a cup of cocoa, 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 4 eggs and I have to put 4 teaspoons of vanilla in here. And you mix it all up. So it's an easy cake because you put everything together, and I like these one mix jobs, these one mix cakes. Come on. Make sure that it's all mixed up and all the ingredients are all together. Okay, and then you put it in 9 by 13 pan. Got to get all this good stuff out of here. Okay, spread it out. And you put it in a 350-degree oven for between 20 and 25 minutes. Make sure that the inside is done. Then when it's done and cooled, you'll put a white frosting on it. I have a lot of my mother's recipes, and I had some of my grandmother's. They're older than I am, and that's old. It's getting old. Okay.
A lot of the recipes, if they were done during Depression era and war era had to be sometimes figured differently because you didn't have the
Butter,
ingredients.
The butter, or the sugar, or the flour, and all that stuff that we had. Do you remember the stamps that we had to get?
I've seen some from my family because I was.
Were they stamps? Were they?
They were like
coupons to get a 5-pound bag of flour or a 5-pound bag of sugar, and you had to have a coupon in order to get those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember the margarine?
Where you colored it?
Yeah, where you had to color it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put this into a 350-degree oven. Okay, whoops. For between 20 and 25 minutes. Just make sure you keep eye on it.
Okay, well, we're going to break because my cranberries haven't all popped yet, and there needs to be more cooking before I start on the second recipe. We'll be back. Okay, it took about 20 minutes to cook my cranberries and my apple and pineapple down, and it's pretty hot right now, of course. And as I found out with the other recipe I made with the cranberries, is that, of course, you're going to serve this cold. And the cooler it gets and you store it in the fridge, the thicker it will get. So we can put that aside for right now and replace it with another saucepan. This is going to be for my easy chicken, turkey, pot pie, even beef pot pie, I guess. And right now I want to wipe off that, or I'll get everything all sticky here. So I had a little bit of, I did have some turkey left. Actually, only a cup and a half of cubed up turkey. But I'd had enough sandwiches and wanted to do something
It's sick of it after a while.
to use it up. So I found this easy pot pie. So in the saucepan here, I'm going to mix 3 cups of cubed cooked chicken or turkey. So what did I do to get the other cup and a half? I opened up a can of the turkey breasts that you buy, which you can make the sandwiches with. You can use it in all different chicken recipes. And so there I have turkey and chicken to go in my pot pie. Now I'm going to add either a 15-ounce can or 2 cups of mixed vegetables, and I prefer the frozen mixed vegetables for just cooking up a vegetable. And I've thawed them out pretty good, so I'm going to add those to the turkey and chicken. And then a can of condensed, now the recipe was celery, condensed cream celery. I didn't have any on hand and I didn't find any, but I very often will interchange cream of chicken, celery, mushroom. So this is going to be a cream of mushroom. Meanwhile, we're warming it up. And we want 1/4 cup of chopped onion, which I kept under wraps here. And also 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And I think I'm going to, because I'm going to need 2 cups of chicken broth. And maybe I will I'll add the flour into the chicken broth, first of all, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Here's 1 cup. Mix it well, and it should, when it boils up and simmers for a while, it should thicken up some. For seasoning, I want 1/4 teaspoon of rosemary, and I've got the crushed Some people don't like rosemary. Either don't put in, maybe put parsley in. And salt and pepper to taste.
I don't like the taste of thyme.
Oh, it's thyme that you don't care for.
I don't know why, but it just isn't.
I had forgotten exactly which one it was that.
Taste it.
Got some really coarse pepper here. My particular pepper grinder that I would use broke on me, so. In fact, I was grinding the peppercorns and all of a sudden the top broke and I had peppercorns all over the place.
Oh dear.
At least they were dry. So, I want to get this simmering and thickened up, and then I'm going to pour it into a 2.5 quart low baking dish and top it with buttermilk biscuits. It will break, and I've got to get this simmering and thickened up. So I heated up the chicken mixture. It didn't get as thick as I thought it might, but you don't want it too thick because you're going to put it over these biscuits. So this is so I poured it into the pan there, ungreased, and I have these humongous butternut. I said that before. Buttermilk biscuits, and I put 6 on here, and I have an extra 2 over here. This will go into a 375-degree oven for 18-20 minutes. What we want to do is get the biscuits cooked. So when are you going to come back and make your
Frosting.
Frosting?
I'm going to cool the cake down a little bit.
Yeah, we have to cool the cake down, and then Gordy will mix up her frosting for us. So we'll be back.
Oh, my cake is done now. I cooled it off a little bit in the refrigerator. So now I'm going to make a frosting for it. And it's made with a quarter of a cup of softened butter, a quarter of a cup of milk, a fourth of a cup of cocoa, and 3 cups of powdered sugar and a dash of salt and a little bit of vanilla, and I'm going to mix it up. Usually when I have confectionery sugar, I have it all over the kitchen. So be very careful today. I should have sifted it. Gonna mix it just a little bit longer than what I'm supposed to, because I can still see a little bit of confectionery sugar in there. Okay, it looks pretty good now. Whoops. Okay. Okay. It's a nice, light, fluffy frosting. Okay. Now you'll frost the cake. It's a real nice fluffy frosting. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is the chocolate cake. I'm going to bring it over to the table.
Welcome back to our table now. Everything got cooked and the cake got cooled down so that Gordy could make the frosting and spread it on. So we made 3 things today. We made an easy chicken turkey pot pie, and I made a spicy cran-apple sauce. The pot pie uses buttermilk biscuits as the topping, and it was very easy to put together. If you have some cooked turkey or chicken available, about 3 cups, and it was just mixed with a can of cream of celery soup was the original recipe. I substituted for mushroom. I think those cream condensed soups are kind of interchangeable. Chicken, celery, and mushrooms most of the time. And then to that, 2 cups of thawed frozen mixed vegetables, and a quarter of a cup of chopped onion. That's all mixed together in a saucepan. And then 2 cups of chicken broth, some rosemary, and salt and pepper to taste. And also just to thicken the gravy up, didn't thicken too much. It was about 2 tablespoons of flour. And then that's poured into this baking dish, and then the biscuits placed on top and baked in the oven. And the cranberry sauce, similar, I made a few weeks ago. The cranberries, fresh cranberries with pear. This time it was with apples and pineapple tidbits, and some cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg, and cooked down. Now this one, it had a half a cup of sugar, and it's a little bit tangier than the one I made before. I think it had a cup of sugar in it. So if you want to add more sugar, it would be okay. So these are the two, the main dish and the side, and then Gordy's chocolate cake, which looks pretty good.
Today I made what's called a 50-year-old chocolate cake, and my mother used to make it a lot. My father loved it, and it doesn't take very long to bake it. What's in there is a cup of butter, a quarter of a cup, half a cup of cocoa, 2 cups of flour, and 2 cups of sugar, and 4 eggs, vanilla, and you mix it all together, and then you just put it in your pan, and you bake it in the oven at 350 for anywhere between 20, 25, 30 minutes in the oven. And this is what it looks like. And then for the frosting it has a quarter of a cup of butter, it has milk and cocoa, and 3 cups of powdered sugar, and a dash of salt, and a little bit of vanilla, and I mixed it all up. And this is what it looks like when the frosting is all done and the cake is done. And it doesn't look too bad at all.
Nope.
And please, if you get a chance, please try it. And also, if you would like to send us some of your old recipes, send them to us at Dalton Community Cable, 151 Park Avenue, Dalton, Mass. 01226. And we will try to put them on the TV so you can see your recipes. And that is all from our kitchen today. Please have a great day.